Bwah.
Jeez. Thanks, PJ.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 22 of the podcast. My name is Maaz from TheAMaazing.
I'm Laddi.
I'm Rushlight Invader.
I'm JayDotJay.
I'm PantslessPajamas.
Why just such a long pause?
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Listen,
I was pausing because he just said JJ. I'm like, wow, bold of you to assume that people just know you by your normal name.
Well, I was like, listen, should I do like the whole JayDotJay from JayDotJay bit? But I was like, it sounds like I'm gonna just be like, because Maaz is the only one who did that. So I was like, oh man, I guess I should just, flow into it. And then we'll see how, like they saw a Lego person in the thumbnail. They know.
Yeah, they know. They know.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? Now, because of that, I'm not going to draw like a person.
Yeah, that's what you get for
First
Just
of all,
just draw like a normal person.
I just
Yeah.
want to thank the fan art people. Wait, what did I just say? People who make
Thank you,
fan art
fan
for
art.
us. Woo! Thanks, fan art. We love it.
Wow, look at it.
I'm clapping for all the fan art.
And
Wow, I'm in that one. Whoa.
listen, but
Whoa.
also, well, maybe you might not be, so never mind. And I also want
If
to
I put it in their heads, they might do it.
No, no, they won't. Don't drop fan art. No, I'm PJ.
Do it. Do it.
Go do it.
I also want to thank our patrons. Okay, look at all these amazing patrons. We've got a lot of patrons now on our Voice Chat Podcast Patreon. Special shout out to Kariu, Andron Studios, Rising J, Mr. Marshmallow, Nightmage 14, John Jono, and Storyteller 25.
Whoa, you guys
Whoa.
are
Android
so
Studios. Who the frick is that? I don't know.
crazy.
Okay, so that's all of our amazing patrons. You can support us on Patreon and listen to this on Spotify and SoundCloud and YouTube and most other audio services. Why did I stutter? Why did I just have a stroke saying that? What?
It's okay. You tried your best.
That was actually my first time ever clapping.
Yeah.
Out of 10,
Wow.
out of 10, 1 to 10, where would you rate my clap? So I can know and learn for next time.
Well,
I would give
it was,
a
it was a solid 10 out of 10. I'll give that.
Whoa!
You clapped like
Whoa.
a friend.
That was a clap? That was a clap? I thought you were just like licking your tongue. It was nothing.
I practiced so hard for that clap.
Well, then you're a liar. You said that was your first clap you've ever done. That's the
Yo,
guy's
Maaz, are you
straight
clap-
off. One
I had
clap out of
to
10.
exercise. I exercised my hand muscles, and then I
Yo.
practiced like the movement of clapping, but I never touched my hands. No, no,
Laddi,
no, no.
what part of
No,
a
no,
clap
no, no.
exercises your hand muscles? What are you doing?
Um,
What?
Why
How
do you
are
lay on
your
your
hands
back?
to clap?
Wow, someone's an amateur clapper here. He doesn't know the hand muscles. Of
Now I'm
clapping.
just clapping and trying
Wow.
to use my hands for it.
They're all twos. Like that was a 3, solid.
Yeah, no, I like the best clap is when you cup your hands a little bit, so it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very kind of strong.
Like a
Boys.
gunshot. Yeah, exactly.
why are we actually like doing it?
So now to go to specifics of clap. No, the clap science. Okay. The best technique is when you don't use your hands at all and use your cheeks to clap. You know.
Yeah.
I am more of a one-handed kind of clapper myself, personally.
Hold on, wait.
Everyone just clap.
Oh, okay.
It's one hand, right?
Was that your hands or your
That,
cheeks?
that was one. Thanks, Laddi.
Clap those cheeks.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we're clapping and everything. But y'all mind if I eat my eggs during the podcast?
Your burnt eggs?
Yeah,
Your
I
eggs are
look.
burnt, bro.
They're like kind of burnt, but I just want to eat them because it's breakfast time for me, and I haven't eaten breakfast, and I want to eat.
Do
You
it.
know what, man? Eat
You're not
those
allowed.
eggs.
Eat 'em.
You deserve it.
Eat those eggs. You won't.
You
Have a
guys are so
healthy breakfast.
supportive, you know. Except Laddi.
Ha, ha.
Laddi gave my claps 2 out of 10, so screw you, Laddi. Oh, man.
Ooh.
You know what's
It's the hard
really bizarre about this episode?
Tell me.
It's that this because we've been alternating between voice chat podcast, VidCon, and everything.
Mhm.
In the last audio podcast, we were discussing how Spiderman got kicked out.
Yeah, Spiderman's gone.
Oh yeah.
He was gone.
Yo, and he's back.
He's back.
Spidey's back. No way. Say it isn't so.
See,
Say
okay.
it isn't so.
Okay, so could you fill us in on the context of what happened? Because I'm not 100% sure either.
Oh, for Spider-Man and MCU, I know
Yeah.
too much about this. Okay, this is like a whole.
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. So the long and short of it is that negotiations had broken down, or so we were told. But like, it's never the case of business. I think that like from reports say that Tom Holland talked very closely with Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal and all the people at Sony. And he was like kind of instrumental in trying to get the deal going back up again. So they do have a new deal going forward. Spider-Man is in one more solo movie within the MCU, and he's in one more team up Avengers-ish type movie. They didn't like specify it would be a new Avengers because that's not officially on the Phase 4 schedule. But he's going to be in one big like team up movie post whatever they named the last one of his trilogy. And then Kevin Feige also like specifically mentioned that Spider-Man can like jump between universes, because of like this Spider-Verse has become like a much more popular thing in the public eye, in the last couple of years. So who knows? I got
the
a couple
alternate
theories
timeline where he meets Venom.
Yeah, I mean, like I honestly think they might do a Spider-Verse movie and bring in Maguire and Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen.
That'd be
Tom
cool.
Hardy Venom.
That'd be cool.
There's a lot of iconic Spider people. Like Spider-Man does have a lot of like actors who have played him in a short amount of time, so could be interesting.
I'll be down. I love the animated movie. I don't think nothing will top that. That's like my favorite Spider-Man movie.
That's it's mine as well. I feel. I don't know about you guys.
But I'm excited to see Mr. Spider-Man in the
Do
MCU.
you only like it
again.
because of like how well animated it was, though? Like, or
No,
the story
story's
itself?
good too. But
Is
every
it though? Is the
well
story
rounded.
good?
What, have you watched it?
Yeah, I guess I watched it.
What's wrong with you?
No, the story is actually like I like the story of the I don't want to spoil anything of the multi-universe and there being a lot of other characters in it, but it's also like isn't it also kind of predictable? Like you all know like as soon as you see the story unfold, you're like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna go and win and fight.
Everyone's seen a superhero movie before.
No, I've never seen Infinity War, bro. When Infinity War happened and everyone was dying, I was like,
someone tapped their cheek.
I didn't think they would have the guts to do it, and they totally did. My mom, I remember like talking to my mom afterwards, and she was like completely caught off guard because she did not expect everyone to die.
And then Laddi started crying, little baby, and I'm a little crybaby. And because everyone in Marvel died.
It was great times. Great times. It was a great time.
I did not cry during Infinity War, but
what's wrong with you?
What?
I did cry during Endgame because like Infinity War is at the very end, right?
Same.
Yeah. I was like, okay, but like Endgame was like, it was there was so many like proud moments in Endgame. I remember like, that Avengers Assemble moment. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that. I didn't realize how long I've been waiting for that moment.
Oh, you're a big old nerd.
Yeah, I know. I'm a mega nerd when it comes to comics. I'm too into it.
DC or Marvel?
Movies, they suck.
Oh, DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
okay.
DC has the better, like a lot of potential, but they don't execute on it enough.
Well,
they do best with Batman.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Joker movie came out.
Ooh.
Joker did come out.
And it's awesome.
How bold of him.
The media hates
it. Joker's actually gay, so Joker.
Okay, but don't pretend that people wouldn't like Stan.
Him and the Riddler.
Him and the Riddler diddling.
The diddling.
Words of jokes and riddles,
Oh, never mind. I can hear. Okay, so Riddler, diddler, Joker. I love that. That's like a canon now. I've watched the Joker movie, and it's actually fantastic. It's really good. It's a good boy.
I haven't watched it yet. I really want to. I haven't because I'm poor.
Fake fan.
I feel that.
Yeah.
What? I'm poor too. we just,
Yeah.
we'll just like relate to the poor.
That's the relatability we're aiming for.
Prosperity, yeah.
If you're
It's
poor,
Have I
right,
have
in
I
the
told you
comments.
guys how like maybe not angry? Yeah, kind of angry. Have I told you guys about my thing with the Sony Spider-Man deal
Tell me.
and the what I
No,
don't like about that?
What's up?
Why? What happened?
Because okay, here's essentially it. All right, let's say Maaz. All right, let's say that like
What's up, babe?
a long time ago when you just started the channel, right?
Yeah.
You made your character, you made TheAMaazing, you had all the stuff, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna pay you like $100 for your character, and you're like, well, I need money, so sure, I'll do that. Later on, I was like, okay, here, I'm not doing great animations of the Amazing character. I actually don't know how to animate at all. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you or animate the the video and
video,
script it,
yeah.
and voice act it and like do everything you do for your videos. I'll retain like 90% of that, and I'll pay you whatever cost to make it, but like that'll be the thing. And then like when you're like, okay, hey, listen, what if we did? How about like you don't have to pay me as much, but we'll do a even 50-50 split. And then the internet's like, well, you're a greedy company. And that's what's going on with Disney and Marvel. And right now, I feel that's my
You're on the
like.
Sony side.
No,
Yeah,
I'm on Disney side. I think
Oh,
Disney
okay.
Disney like Sony was being very unfair because Sony just freaking paid for the rights to Spider-Man. Like, it's your character, man.
Yeah, hey, his whole backstory to know like Uncle Ben is now Mr. Tony
It's
Stark.
because everybody knows Uncle Ben. Everybody
Yeah,
knows.
well,
That many times.
I'm an uncle. Wasn't that the meme that started like as soon as the Spider-Man deal went bad, and what's like, oh, Uncle Ben's coming back,
He's like,
go ready to
yo,
watch Uncle Ben die again.
Right.
And I was like, honestly, I was ready for it. Who's gonna be the
I was ready
new
for him to die.
Uncle Ben?
Who's be the new Spider-Man?
I
Who
just
would
wanna...
you cast? Spider-Man like 4.
No, Tom Holland was going to be the same Spider-Man. It's just that Uncle Ben was gonna come back. Yes. That's my favorite Marvel superhero, Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. I love his rice.
His
Oh
rice.
my god.
Oh,
Break up, JJ.
JJ, you
What?
garbage.
You
From the grocery store.
I know.
What?
I
Did
mean,
you have
listen,
that in
I
Australia?
actually really love the memes that came out of that where people were like saying like, guys, you might be joking, but there is a comic where Uncle Ben is the one that survives and doesn't get shot
Yeah.
and turns into like the baddest boy ever. We should
Yeah.
have that movie. And I'm like, you know what? I would like to see
you
it.
know about this?
No, what the hell? What are you talking about?
It's another Spider-Verse member. He's like fucking awesome.
Why?
There was also one comic where like Aunt May was granted the power cosmic by Galactus. Like she became his new hero, like the Silver Surfer. You know how the Silver Surfer goes and finds
yeah.
planets.
Why
for
Aunt
Galactus to
May? Now that's what I'm
Why not?
because they thought it would be funny. That's basically that's what it came down to.
I mean,
They were
is
just
it
kind of
not?
like, yeah.
I don't know.
I just wish like what I was excited about with entire Marvel's like the entire thing is new IP stuff. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite, and I just didn't expect it to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I already watched that movie so many times. Time and space is my favorite subject.
Yeah, and then like, but even the visuals and how to just distort it, and it's like they use visual illusions in the. My mind gets just twisted watching that movie. It's
That
also
one be good.
That's a great final fight where like they're fighting, everything's going backwards and they're fighting through that. It's really cool.
Oh yeah.
I hate time and space stuff so much.
Why, PJ?
No.
What?
Why?
Why you do this?
I don't like anything that has to do with like. Okay, I should be more specific. I don't
Yeah.
like any. See, even Snoopy, my dog in the background, he feels my anger. Anyway, I don't like anything that has to do with time travel stuff. But Steins Gate is the only one that does it effectively
Yes.
because of how they approached it. They solve the problem that I always hate with time travel, which is like you get into that infinite paradox and loop of like, you know, guy goes back in the past, tries to fix something, messes up. Maybe he like takes his other past self with him to be like, hey, let's both go back to the past again and remedy this. And then you have like 5 different versions of the exact same guy and nothing is working out. And you're just like, this is so horrible. But then, like, because they have, like, you know, in Steins Gate, they just sent back, like, wait a minute, is it a spoiler if no one's...
Yeah, let's not spoil Steins Gate, okay?
Well, you know what it is, Maaz, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you know how
I know what you
fixed it,
mean.
and I
It's
love
pretty
that,
good.
and I love that take. I love that. It's the only one that I will ever accept. Everything else is doo-doo butter. And
Doo-doo butter.
PJ really be out here being that kind of person who doesn't like time and space, but really loves peeing herself multiple times, right, PJ? You really be out here like that?
Listen, someone
really out here?
pointed out in my comments section, they were like, does anyone else notice that every single time PJ has a younger version of herself on screen, it's getting hurt? And I'm like, finally someone noticed.
That's just PJ's very unhealthy way of coping with herself.
That's her use of time travel. If you
time travel to touch yourself,
right? Yeah, exactly.
I just listen. That I like to think that like it's like anytime you have like a memory that's like an intrusive memory of you doing like a really cringeworthy thing. The first thing that you kind of think about is like, oh, if I could punch my younger self, I would. I am delivering very relatable content. That's how I like to view it personally. Okay, I'm bringing that thought into imagery.
She's really living that fantasy of going back and punching yourself.
That self-abusive fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Go back.
I live that every day.
Deck myself.
Oh no, JJ,
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it. Don't live my bread. Don't live it. Okay. Do as I say, not as I do.
It's right, PJ. I like the thing is, okay, in the video you're just like, oh, you know, I just pee myself in gym class. Ooh, I'm so adorable and cute. But then it's like when we were in VC, PJ's telling me about all the other times in which she's peeing herself, and I'm like, PJ, stop.
Okay, no. Okay, listen. No, because those were more deliberate. That was an accident. I don't know if that made it any better. I don't know why.
On purpose? Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Okay. All right. Time out.
Okay, no.
How does this make it better?
No, all right. Listen. There's context. Okay, I take back the makes it better part, but like, there's context to this entire situation. Okay, I was telling Maaz about a time when I was like 7
hold
or
on.
8 years old.
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you real quick?
Oh yeah.
Can we just go around and say what is the context before hearing the story? What is the context of PJ thought it purposely to pee herself?
Okay, yeah.
Laddi Rush, go for it. Let's guess.
She has a third secret channel, right? Where she reviews adult diapers, and she has to like talk about the fabric and how it sustains the pee.
Oh my god!
And so she's like sawyer herself to make sure it's a good product.
Okay, you know what?
Okay, you want to hear my theory?
You're not correct.
Yeah, what's up,
But
Laddi?
I'll write it down.
My theory
Go,
is
Laddi.
PJ was just really cold and she wanted warmth, so she peed.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Laddi's a survivor, okay?
You know what? Valid. I'm writing that down too.
I think that like PJ was stuck on a desert island and she needed water, and so she created her own filtration system by peeing into an onion and evaporating it, and you know how to make water from your own pee.
I mean, if you haven't drinking your own pee at least like once, have you even?
Yeah.
Come on.
Have you ever been stranded on a desert island? Really?
Yeah.
Can you really say that? Yeah.
No.
What if she did all 3 at once? Like she's in a desert island with diapers.
Maaz, don't give it away.
I'm sorry.
It's like a cold island.
She's been working on this for her 3rd channel for months.
No, stop.
No.
PJ really be out here making this channel a reality, bro.
And that was the last we ever heard.
That's how she gets. that's how she gets out of awkward conversations. She just like pees herself. He's like, all right, well,
Gotta go.
sorry guys.
Can you imagine if you're talking to someone and they just start peeing themselves super casually in front of you? You're just like, wait. What do you...
YouTube, huh? How does that make money? Oh, I'm sorry. I just peed myself.
I
They don't
left
even
you guys
mention
for
it.
just a moment. What am I listening
Yeah.
to?
It's like you're talking to someone and they don't even mention it. You just see the stain in front of them get bigger and bigger, and they're just casually talking. They're like, yeah, so YouTube's been a really interesting facet of my life. And you're just like, are you peeing yourself right now?
What? Oh yeah, that
Yes.
happens. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Are you? So, Peter,
Wow.
what's the real story? Are you part squid? What's going on?
Okay. Well, I was but a wee lad of 7 or 8, I forget. But like
Wee
my
lad?
mom.
Wee
That's old
lad?
enough.
Wee lad?
A wee lad. of 8
Wee
years old.
wee
Oh my god.
lad.
All right. Okay. All right.
And my mom left me alone. Already a bad idea. And I was alone in bed, and because we used to, like, me and my little brother, we were weenies, so we like always slept beside our mom. And then she left me alone with like the Sci-Fi Channel on, and I was just like, Mom, bed, and she was like, not yet. And I was like, So I was watching television to like fill the void. And as I was like sitting there, a Chucky commercial came on the screen. As they do when it's
Chuck E.
like
Cheese?
midnight.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes,
The mouse.
yes. Chucky.
No, I'm serious. Like Chucky, as in like the a doll.
The
that's
horror movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, like not like obviously not the newer one, like very like old OG like
Yeah.
Chucky movie
Time
just on the
travel?
screen. And I never knew about Chucky's existence until that very moment, and I hate him with every fiber of my being. And then I looked to the door because it was like a crack open that would lead to the bathroom, and I was just like, what if he's out there? And I got too scared of the idea of like going out and actually using the bathroom, because I just got it in my own head that he was waiting, and he was just like, yeah, that's right, use the bathroom so that I can murder you. So I got up from where I was. I found a corner of the room that people don't like walk around so they wouldn't like step in anything. I squatted, and then I did my business right on my mom's carpet.
No.
And no one ever knew.
Except
And
now
no one will
everyone
ever know.
knows.
Now everyone knows. It's fine. It's fine. No one knew, okay? Like, no one stepped in it. It didn't invade anyone's business. It didn't make a mess everywhere. I was very smart. I was very considerate, like, for an 8-year-old.
You know, listen to the podcast. She was like, mother.
Oh, no. I told her many years later. Like, many years. When we, like, redid the room.
Pees on the carpet and no one's around to step on it.
Really pee. Remember, kids, you can pee anywhere as long as you're considerate.
I believe that. I personally. I don't know about you guys.
Yo, PJ, you just jogged my memory.
Oh, good. Good.
More.
Okay.
I'm worried now.
All right.
I also peed on the carpet.
Spill the pee.
Yeah.
God, Laddi, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
Yes.
Listen, but I wasn't no degenerate. I wasn't like 8 or 7 when I peed on the floor. Are you kidding me?
Thanks, Rush. Thanks, baby.
I was professionally.
I was 4 years old. I didn't know better, okay? I was like, all right, so I had this like one room in the house, right? My mom was dating this guy. They got us the house. The one room was my living room. And I just watched Gilligan's Island or whatever on the show. I was just, hey, yeah, whatever, good show. And then the stairs, walking upstairs was too far away, right? So there's like this little chair in the corner. And so I went behind it, and I usually peed behind the corner. And I did this for like years, for like maybe a year. And now,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, did your parents never like notice a smell or anything? Your
No,
mom
they never go
like,
in my. That's my
wow.
living room. That's my room. They don't go in there.
Man.
Oh.
So I'm the
4 years old,
degenerate.
every
I had a reason. You
Yeah.
had
Yeah. I may have peed multiple times in this corner, but I was at least 4 years old.
I had a reason. You just said that you repeatedly peed in the same area.
Yeah.
Wait.
They need to go
That's
upstairs.
it? Wait, Rush, I was just waiting for more of it. Wait, that's it?
No, that's it. I just remembered that I used to pee in the corner too.
You're a degenerate.
No, I was
Thank you.
4 years old.
Thank
Not
you.
like I was not
don't
over the
usually
age of
swear, but
7.
That's disgusting.
I was a child.
You peed for a year?
I didn't know how to tie my shoes.
What is that? You have to go outside? Do you have an outhouse?
Wait, how does tying your shoes have anything to do with our conversation?
Because I was not smart enough to process this.
Did you try and tie your shoes and pee at the same time?
My man's really out here being like, I couldn't tie my shoes, Mom.
My friend is out here calling you a degenerate and then telling you a story about peeing in the same spot for over a year.
Yeah.
Well, to be
But not
fair, I
always.
pee in the same spot for like 24 years, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
yeah,
toilet.
No.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference. I
There's
just can't
like
put my finger on
There's
one.
like mildew. There's like mildew and growing in the
No.
house.
Yeah.
No.
Shit. The house is now being destroyed.
Right. Right, dude.
I caused property damage.
Right.
Oh,
Imagine your
man.
urine causing property damage in the house. Like, I imagine they're trying to sell like what's the name of the person who comes in and like values your house, you know? And they're
Yeah.
like they're writing, it's like, man, what's that smell? Oh man, what's this mold doing?
I just think there's like property damage. It's property damage, I swear.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Nothing
is.
else.
You know, the cause
Don't
doesn't
invest.
necessarily need to be mentioned.
PJ, listen, now you got
Force
to,
of
now,
nature.
now you get to be worried, okay? If you have Rush in
What?
your house,
Show me the corner.
Listen, Marie.
in your Sims, Rush starts peeing in your
Oh my god, I wonder if there's a mod for that. I'll have to look it up.
P Sim, P mod.
Pee
Yes.
mod?
Pee
Can
anywhere
we
you
talk
want,
about the
Only-
Sims? I just
PJ,
want
Yes.
to
listen, I'd be
No
honored,
problem.
okay?
Please do.
Alright.
guys.
She's
I've
addicted to
made
Sims.
this is for content, all right? I've made a
Uh-huh.
beautiful thing with all my good buddies here that you're listening to right now, and I have made a beautiful Sims area so that I can put them all in the same house and they can either, you know, romance each other, kill each other, whatever I'm feeling, you know, with the mods that I'm using that day. And it's fantastic. Also, Maaz, I totally have, like, you know, you went to sleep that night when I was testing out a certain something, and I have the results of that. I forgot I never told you.
Oh, I'm excited.
It involves you, and literally only you.
I'm
Uh-oh.
so excited. Only me? Wait. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Wait. PJ, no,
I mean, okay,
no.
no. I mean, okay, listen. When I okay, just for context, because I'll be transparent. You know, there's a I'm not gonna say what this mod does. I'm gonna say the name, and those who know, and those who don't, look it up. But there's a mod called Wicked Whims for The Sims.
No.
Maaz
no.
was encouraging me to, like, I had the house with our friends already in it, and he was encouraging me, like, no, let it run and see what happens. And I was just like, okay, fine, sure, just this once, just for you, Maaz, and I'll let you know what happens. I'll let you know who decides to do things with who. And nothing was happening to a point where I was like, oh wow, you know, this is subverting my expectations, because usually so much happens that I get sick of it. But something did. There was only one person that kept. When I say only you, I mean you were the only one initiating it out of the entire house, and you kept picking the same person, which is ironic.
Who was it?
Same person that you also kept rejecting before I put the mod in.
Whoa!
Chained of heart.
Oh, wait a second.
You
Okay.
can say that name. You can say that
Alright.
name.
It was Emily. No, it's so cursed. It's
And
so
what did you
cursed.
say then?
I didn't tell Emily.
Oh, now she
No, as
knows.
in, like, in The Sims, obviously.
Well, no, like they don't say anything when it happened. Like your moodlet would pop up and it would say that you were just like going to, you know, initiate stuff with Emily. And then that was it. Like that was it. It would just happen. You would just go on over. And then I'd be like, oh, what's Maaz up to? And then I'd check and I would just be interrupting a whole moment. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, wait, it happened? Oh, no.
Yes.
I
Multiple
thought I got
times.
rejected.
Scandalous.
No. I was like, no, I don't want this. This is horrible. I hate it. I hate it. No. It was actually cursed. I was scarred. I turned it off like almost immediately. I was like, no, I don't want this.
So is that why Sims Emily came to my sim house really mad while I was trying to get on with that goth girl?
Apparently. JayDotJay just wants Maaz. I can't fight that. I'm trying to get JayDotJay a nice
You know,
woman,
listen,
you know?
listen,
Like,
you
but
know,
he's gay. He's gay for Maaz. There's no
art
fighting.
imitates life. It's just,
PJ, that's so
The AI
easy.
knows.
That's such a low-hanging fruit. I can't even say it. I can't say it.
What were
Oh,
you
man.
gonna freaking say? What were you gonna freaking say?
JayDotJay. Come on, it's too easy. It's too easy.
well, guys, it's
Dang.
time I made this video. I've been planning on it for.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
He's not sorry.
I just, oh man, it's so beautiful. I love just like having like a little simulation to put all of you guys in, because it's always so funny seeing what people do without mods. Obviously,
Wow.
the murder
Wow.
mod is better. I like
Wow.
the killing one.
The murder mod went from 0 to 60 real quick.
Oh yeah, no, like straight up, the first thing Maaz did was grill something and then kill.
Wait.
I don't know why Emily's always the
Okay.
target.
What did
mod.
you just say? 0 to 60?
Yeah,
6, like as in why 6?
Like 60.
Miles per hour.
60 miles an hour. That's like it's generally what we call going fast here, I guess. So just like it is a like a metric. Like if you go, for acceleration to test how fast a car is, how quickly it goes from like standing still to hitting 60 miles an hour.
Wait, is that where that saying comes from?
Yeah.
Wait.
I've never heard that saying.
I've
I
never
thought
heard
0 to
that.
You've never
100
heard
was
0 to
like
60?
percentages.
No.
No.
Oh my.
I've
Really?
always said it was 0 to 100.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
everyone says.
that-
That's where like the little emoji, like the 100 emoji.
Yeah, well, like you can say that same too.
I feel like
I mean, I
0 to
guess-
100 is also exactly the same, JayDotJay, except in our system, it's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour.
I
as
bet
well.
you it is. I'm going to Google this right now. Hold up.
I
0
thought you
to
guys never heard the saying
60?
whatsoever.
I've never heard that.
100
Never heard
kilometers
that.
is 62 miles. So probably exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
0 to 60.
Damn.
Put it down in the
Wow.
comments below, Put it down in the comments if you heard 0 to 60.
Yeah.
16.
Have you gone from 0 to 60 in your life? Let us know how.
No.
Let us know.
Let
Wait,
us know in the
wait.
comments below.
In your Sims, PJ, Maaz went
Yeah.
from 0 to 69.
Just shut
Oh,
up!
I don't get
It's
it.
all video games, doesn't matter.
I understand. Good.
That was me in middle school. I was just kind of like, yeah, haha.
Laddi, you you just write, dear Laddi, dear diary. Somebody said 0 to 69, and I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Dear, thanks, Laddi.
I think I'm gonna have to do another Laddi Explains to figure this one out.
Hey guys, it's me,
No,
Laddi,
that's-
back with another Laddi Explains video. Can you help me? I was on the adventure to learn what 0 to 69 meant, and oh boy!
no, that's cursed. That's actually cursed. No.
I would love a blog entry on Laddi sells. Oh wait, people don't know about that. People don't know about that.
Oh no,
Don't spoil the surprise.
Okay. How long do we keep it up for, Laddi?
I don't know. I love it so much.
I actually love it. If you have any more updates, just send it through.
Okay, I'll start typing up more. I'm just like,
Okay.
ah.
Just do it whenever you want. Like honestly, it's not like a mandatory thing. It's more
Yeah.
like a joke.
I love it. Though. It's like the best. It's the best ARG. Like
I've been
love it.
showing it to my
It really
friends.
Oh my god. Guys, what's this?
I
Oh.
uploaded the Happy Harvest Day one.
Yay!
Yay!
We
Murder.
stand Harvest Day.
We
Oh my
stand.
God. I love it. This is best. What is this podcast? I love it. I miss this.
I miss these conversations.
You know,
Mhm.
Spider-Man, murder, wicked whims.
Spider-Man, murder,
Pee.
peeing.
Pee.
P,
Oh.
P, just
It
a lot
was
of
like-
P.
everything has come together.
With
Only the
pee.
most riveting
With
conversation.
pee. Pee is like the glue that holds us together, you guys.
The natural adhesive, yeah.
The natural adhesive.
All right,
Oh boy.
and
That's
hated
a
that.
beautiful.
now I'm
quote.
backing out.
When pee is
Vito.
when pee is the glue that keeps you together, you're in the circle of friendship.
Shut up, Laddi. That was such a reach.
I know,
That was
but I wanted it. I wanted it.
that was the worst.
Oh wait, I just got the joke. Oh,
I don't
my
regret it.
God.
I
That's-
do.
Yeah.
Listen,
I do.
I do.
listen.
Okay, that's fine. You can
Dear
regret it for
diary,
me.
I don't get it.
I
Ronnie said the friend circle of friendship, and yeah.
Oh, I got a chuckle.
Did I ever tell you guys that like my parents never gave me to talk, so I had to figure it all out from context
What?
clues.
About pee?
Oh, I
No,
never got.
about
I never
About like
really-
about yeah about the about the wicked whims.
about the woohoo. Yeah,
So how'd
buddy.
you find out the woohoo?
No, you just like okay, so like when when you're around a group of friends and they all start making dirty jokes, I just would just like laugh along and pretend I knew what they were talking about, and slowly but surely I like pieced together what it like.
Pieced together. Okay, go
That's a
on, yeah.
reach. How
We gotta
dare.
stop.
I heard you choking, Laddi.
I was drinking water when you said that.
Oh my god.
Did you
So
never
what age you
Google it,
figured out?
JayDotJay? Or like,
What?
did you never Google it? Like, that would probably would have been
No,
easier.
no, because like my parents told me not to,
Oh,
because they were
yeah.
like and I was like okay sure, but then
Did
I
they
was
never
like
want to tell you about, the birth
I-
of the
the
pee?
You
woohoo?
just never
the
know.
basic thing was
you know.
that like they were like like if you straight up just Google sex when you're a kid, it's like you're gonna get a little too much knowledge.
Yeah.
You're gonna unleash Pandora's box. You know what I'm saying? A little too early. So they're just kind of like, don't do that, and we'll tell you when you're older. And then they just like kept saying that until
Until you were 24.
yeah, until I was 24, and now who knows?
Maybe it could be tomorrow. Who knows?
God's idea.
Oh my god.
Still waiting.
Still waiting.
No,
I still
I
don't
just,
get
like,
it, guys.
I remember there's like there was a not even a book, like an encyclopedia kind of thing, right? But it was like it would show how babies were born, but they only start from like like from a zygote after like the eggs together. This is in science class, kids. So surprise. But they would only start from that point and show how the baby grows. And I'm like, well, how does this all happen? I my first initial theory was that it was like well, it's injected like a syringe, and I thought like that's how like that's how that's how
Are you
sperm cells got
wait
into egg cells.
wait JJ? Were you one of those people on Yahoo Answers asking if you were pregigante?
Pregnant.
That was me.
Oh my
That's my viral. No, I couldn't go online for it, so I just had to figure it out. I figured out really early on. I was like, okay, because I thought that like really when I was really young, I thought that girls were like Barbie dolls, right?
Oh
So like,
my
right? But
God.
then listen. Then I was like, okay, hold up. I was like, I don't, like I was at the beach and I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was just doing some, deductive reasoning as you do, and I was like,
Deductive reasoning.
I was like, I don't, like girls were wearing bikinis. I knew, of course, that like, breasts existed because I had younger siblings and my mom breastfeed them. So and I was like, okay, so I don't wear a bra. So there's no like, and I don't have breasts. So like,
Beautiful reason.
but I was like, listen, he's like, I knew I had, I knew I was a boy. And I was like, okay. If it was like, if I'm wearing shorts, right? And I'm like, if girls are also wearing shorts, it's like if they're just like a Barbie doll down there, they would be like a bra for me, or I just don't wear it. And I was like, okay, so something has to be there. I don't know what, but something's there. Like something's up.
I
Something's
knew
gotta be
in my
covered up.
heart that something had to be there.
Right. I knew in my heart that vaginas existed somehow. I just didn't know the how and where. And then
God.
I
yeah,
love that.
that's
Every
just
listening to the
that's
podcast
how.
right now is just like, what?
And
The
now
what
it's still a
existed?
mystery.
I still don't entirely get it.
Welcome, kids.
Wait, can
Sorry,
I
kids,
like
don't
share
Google
my
it.
experiences with that because it's like story
No,
time.
you're not allowed. Go for
No,
it. Go for it.
only
Go for it.
JJ.
Only JJ.
Only JJ. Only JJ gets the privilege. This is very-
Listen, after you and Rush's disgusting pee stories, I don't want. I don't want.
I want
No,
a degenerate.
mine isn't disgusting. This isn't disgusting. Okay,
Yeah, she's
how
disgusting.
dare you?
Okay.
How dare you, Ricky Rush, you nasty hoe. Oh my god. Well, this cursed. This entire thing's cursed. But no, like JJ, I feel you in the sense of like, technically speaking, I never got like the talk. Like my mom always told me that she was supposed to like give me like, oh, the talk, because like they gave me like a general idea of like, oh, well, at least my mom did. She gave me a general idea of like, oh, you know, sex exists, but like that was kind of like it. Like there was a lot of things that my parents would say existed that I didn't really understand, but I just knew that like, oh, we Christian, it bad, no do, and I'd be like, K, because you just had to tell me something was bad, and then I wouldn't do it. But then when I went to school, they had like this entire thing in 5th grade where they were just like, oh, you know, we're basically going to like give you guys like sex ed, you know, like at this age they're gonna tell you more about it further when you go to middle school and high school. And I was just like, oh, okay, sure. And I remember it's only worthy bringing up because I remember us learning about it and everyone in class was talking about it, and I'm actually kind of embarrassed like saying this out loud.
Uh-oh.
But like my mom always told me that when she had me, that the reason, like her thing was like, I'd be like, Mom, how was I born? And she was just like, well, I prayed really hard for a little girl and that's how I got you. And I was just like, oh. And then when everyone was talking about like, well, you know, sex, reproduction, whatever, I was like, my mom didn't have to have sex, okay? God.
Did you say that out loud?
I didn't.
Ow! Did you claim that your mom had you by immaculate conception? Did you claim that you were essentially Jesus Christ?
Yes, I did, because that's what my mom always told me. Because I was like, sex is bad, and my mom would never have sex. Okay?
Yo, it's Jesus over here.
And then I went home and I told my mom all about it. I'm like, Mom, could you believe these clowns, these fools talking about how they were created during sex? And then she was just like, oh yeah, I had sex to have you too. And I remember that for a whole day, I was disappointed in my mom. I was like, you dirty sinner, having sex to conceive me. I'm disgusted. And I got over it, obviously. But, I'm ashamed.
And I still hold that against her to this day.
Oh yeah, no.
Every Thanksgiving across the table, just stare at her.
Oh my god.
I have a weird sex ed story that like I just thought about when you were talking about
boy.
elementary school.
I love this podcast.
Like,
Yes. This is the best.
It's nothing bad or anything. I just remember like the video was talking about like when girls mature, they grow breasts and stuff. And then like I looked down my shirt and I didn't have any, and I was like, yes, like out loud. And everyone like laughed at me, and I just remember that.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't want to grow up. I was
Me. Oh my god, same.
I was
Wait,
happy
I
to have
didn't want
boobs.
to either. I remember reading in this book. Okay, so another story time. I
love it.
remember
Story?
when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I wanted to like be one step ahead of my parents. I remember, so I'm like 9 or 10 years old, and I know how to read, right? So I go to my parents' room, and they have this book. really shocking everyone here. They have this book called like Raising Teenagers, or you know what I mean? Like they're one of the parenting books, and I was like, well, if I read these parenting books, I can stay one step ahead. So I started reading this book about raising teenagers, and they talk about like, you know, what just like normal stuff, like what to do when your kid has, you know, when your kid has like his first crush. or whatever, right? And now I was like reading through this thing, and they're like, yeah, you know, you get like, you know, like teenager will experience this thing. They get like super flustered and nervous, and they can't think straight. And I was like, man, that sounds like the worst. I'm just not gonna do that. Just not. I'm just like gonna like, yeah, no, that sounds like, I was like, you know, you can't think properly. Why would anyone want that? That's gonna be a no from me. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna not. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna put off growing up as much as possible. And then one time, my parents were like, "Hey, we signed you up for or like, you know, my siblings and stuff." They're like, there's a pottery class that's being hosted by you know, like one of our mutual friends. They're hosting this class up there. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, I was actually kind of like interested. I like the idea of like creating like stuff like cups and like other things out of nothing, right? You know, and I was like, pottery, that's cool. So you know, we go. And I remember like I got there to this class, and there was a friend of mine. I guess I'll name drop her. Her name's Alyssa. And so she was like, and we had just been like, you know, we were just friends, obviously.
Not alienation.
Not alienation. Want to confirm that absolutely that is not the case. We did not grow up together. So I'm at this point I'm like 12, right? We're literally I get up to the place, and we have been friends for at least like several years. So I have no reason to think anything's gonna happen. And then then like I just like I enter the room, and I see her, and then I'm like, oh no, like in slow motion, because like everything, I was like, there's all the symptoms are here. Like I was like super nervous, and I was like, right, yeah, I was like self-diagnosing myself. I'm like, okay, I can't really think straight, and my face is all red, and I really can't even look at her. Like every time I look at her, I'd be like, oh no, all right. So then I hid behind. I like hid behind my dad, so I wouldn't have to like. And she's like, you know, she's just like looking at me because like, you know, whatever. She's like on her end, nothing has changed about our you know, about our friendship. And she's just like, hey, you know, she's like waving and stuff, and I'm like, no, I can't. All right. So then my parents were like, all right, well, we're gonna go. And I was like, well, well, crap. I can't do this for the rest of this class. Like, I will literally die if I have to keep dealing with this. So then I was like, I want to go home. And they're like, what? I thought you really wanted to do pottery. And I was like, no, pottery's dumb. I want to go home. And so and from then on, I've never taken a pottery class.
And that's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story. Never
Don't take pottery. It's dumb.
Right. Just drop all the things
explosively. Like you were making a giant wang out of pottery. Like that's just how it ends.
Excellent.
Pottery's dumb.
Pottery was dumb.
Yo, can you imagine if people were like, were you in the same class as Alyssa? Whoa. I heard you guys were friends. What the heck?
People know that Alyssa you're talking about.
Alyssa with an E.
Podcast with JayDotJay in it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, people think that
Laddi,
me
what
and
happened
Elle.
recently?
People think that we were actually roommates. What? Like,
You were roommates?
I was just playing a character. Literally, I don't look at my comments anymore because all of them are like, "Wow, Elle was right. You are annoying. Wow, you were such a bad roommate." And I'm like, we weren't actually roommates.
Okay, can I kind of talk about that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Vent, Laddi, I love it.
No, I'm gonna vent. I think it is irresponsible of Elle to have done that. I think this is all Elle's fault.
How so?
How so? What, like, okay, what else are people gonna think? Like, we're saying all of this from our perspective of obviously knowing Laddi. But if you have somebody in your video who you're calling Laddi and is voiced by Laddi as your roommate, of course, like, why would people assume any otherwise? There's a reason why in every single other channel, including Sultan and myself, even when we name it another character, it still causes confusion. But then when you name your character in your life the exact person who's voicing it, that's going to increase that margin of confusion by like 10 times. My character's named Cherry, Sultan's named is Princess, and Steven in Alex's video, and people still think the people voicing are that person, right? But if you name it Laddi and have it Laddi, people are gonna think it's Laddi.
It's Laddi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my entire point is that you admit that still stems from an ignorance that realistically, like, even like it is the thing though, is that why I always like, yeah, is it wise to like further like instigate that sort of thing by like naming the person the same as like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll admit is that like the biggest brain move out there? Maybe not, but like even so though, it still stems from an overall ignorant idea that like perfect example, like what you're saying with like even just making other characters that like we like princess whatever. I still can never get over the idea that people think that we would like bad talk, rant, vent about this person in our lives, have the goal to then poke them later on and be like, hey, listen, I was saying some crap about you in my video, but for authenticity, can you read these lines real quick and then let it happen? Like, that's an ignorant dummy boy mentality.
Yeah, so what you were saying, PJ, though, is still jumping through a lot of logical leaps, right? I get what you're saying, where it's just like, why would you ask if someone you're crap talking in the video? But I also feel like it's the responsibility of the person creating the video to mitigate a lot of the confusion. Elle only clarified that it wasn't Laddi at the very end, not even said it, she just wrote it at the very end in the credits. And everybody's audience retention goes to 60-50% at the end, When introducing her roommate, she should have said, this is not my roommate, or if you're going to name it Laddi and have Laddi voicing it, say like, hey, this Laddi wasn't actually my roommate, or just say, this is Christine, my roommate, who's voiced by Laddi. There's so many things you could do to clarify it. No one genuinely thought in my video that Jaden was my middle school crush. Because I made it clear that because I drew Jaden in the video and then I drew Cherry in the video, and they're two different people, and I made that clear. And I don't know, I feel like that's on Elle. That's on Elle.
She admitted to that. Like, I told her, I was like, hey, could you like clear it up that I'm not actually your roommate because people are being really mean? She was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm not used to like having a kid audience, so like I didn't think people would just assume that like we were actually roommates. And I was like, oh, it's fine. She's like, I'll keep an eye out for that next time.
Having a kid audience is an excuse, man. Like, if you're making an animation, like, as an adult, there's two rules you should always follow. And I dropped my Rubik's Cube, and which is that is your an animation and is your video clear to the audience, right? Is it clear what's happening, and is it entertaining? And she failed on that first front because it wasn't clear. It wasn't clarified that it was not Laddi.
Yeah. It would have been better if we had originally planned to do a same day upload, but I had midterm exams like the week of, so I didn't get to post mine in time, and I'm still working on it. But like in the beginning of my video, I go up to Elle's house and I'm like, hey Elle, wanna be my roommate for a video? And then I just drag her into the video. I feel like if we upload at the same time.
But I don't think that would have helped either, because that requires them to go to your channel and watch your video.
But that would mitigate everyone commenting on her video, though, which is like the big thing, right?
Assuming that, once again, people watched that initial video of Laddi, right? Because people are now going in her other videos and commenting this.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Is it almost on your latest video?
It's on my latest video, yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like this is a common issue that happens, but it's up to the people to clarify and make it better.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to like die down. Literally, it's every comment I get right now, so I'm just like not reading them.
I hate that.
We don't stand that.
We don't stand like at all. Everyone leave Laddi alone.
Pick on Laddi. It's hilarious.
Rush, I'll kick you in the nuts.
I love picking on Laddi. It's hilarious.
Wait, are y'all all for nut kicking or?
I mean, you could.
Griffin's around the corner. Come on, nutcracker.
Just kidding. Unless. But yeah, that's
all right. But the video was.
That's my tea.
The video is good. it was really fun to do because literally we just like were in a call and she just had me improv a bunch of stuff and I was like, this is really fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, I love that. I love that vibe.
Yeah, it was great. That whole like there's a horse pee bit, that was all me. I was like
Yeah, Laddie, you own that bit.
Laddi, I'm so proud of you thinking about horse.
and back to pee.
It all comes back to pee.
Can I talk about horse pee? And just like Laddi.
You know what,
Laddie.
Laddie? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cause like she said like she wanted me to be like a country girl from Texas or whatever, or like who
Do
has
you
a
think this is a
farm.
horse
What's
pee?
that?
So,
Translation?
no.
What?
So,
Hey, can you be a country girl, Laddie? Horse pee, horse pee, horse pee, horse pee.
Country roads.
exactly my mind process. Actually.
Oh my god.
No, so I thought back to when like I went to like church camp and like we rode on horses and we would ride like them in a line like very slowly and sometimes like we'd all have to stop because one of the horses would have to pee and when they pee it's a lot of pee and it's like
Okay, Laddie, we know.
Yeah, no. I want more
The
description.
horse just
I
goes
would
to the
like
corner
more-
of the field, and it's like, all right, well, this is my corner.
For a year, the horse peed
For
in
a
the same
year.
spot.
And so that's when I was like, wow, this would be really funny to bring up. So I did, and she kept it. And I was like, yay. But now everyone's commenting, why do you like horse pee so much, Laddie? And I'm like,
Oh man, it was your Achilles heel. It worked against you. No.
darn.
Horse pee,
Horse
horse pee,
pee.
horse pee, horse pee.
Horse pee.
Yo, if you like horse pee, please leave a comment on the video.
Man,
Dude,
horse
like,
schools really be out
subscribe.
there.
Oh my god.
I have
Do y'all
another
ever
pee
know-
story, but I'll say that for later.
Oh, wait, no,
Oh.
okay. No, go on. Don't want me to interrupt
Oh,
that.
sorry. I don't want to like talk.
Don't
the
want me
whole
getting in the
time.
way of your pee story. No, go for it. Go for it. This is you.
So,
Now you're on the
this
spot.
is you.
This is all you, Laddie.
This is all my
We
destiny.
give her a microphone, light shines on her. She's like,
The spotlight shines like
yeah.
everyone goes
Thanks,
quiet.
guys, for giving me this amazing spot in the Oscars. I just want to tell you this one story about horse pee.
Let's thank the
So
horse.
Oh
another
my
thank you, horse. Thank you, horse, for giving me good content. Anyway,
That's what we're calling it now.
so my other pee story, that one's actually really recent. In freshman year of college, I looked at this post. Like someone was just like, "Why does eating asparagus make my pee not taste well?"
Hey, wow. Why did it taste so good?
No.
Wow.
smell like
What
asparagus.
does pineapple make?
So I was like, what? Your pee can smell like asparagus? So I got my two friends who like we were all like, it was just us three at that college, and I was like, guys, I want to try asparagus pee, and they're like, what? And I was like, I'm gonna buy asparagus and I'm gonna eat it and see if my pee smells like asparagus, and they're like, okay, and we were just it became a whole thing. We went to Walmart, we got
Oh my God.
asparagus. We like at first I was eating it raw, which was bad, and then I cooked it, which was a little bit better, but we were like in the freshman dorms, so we didn't have like a kitchen to cook it in. I just kind of microwaved it, which is
Ugh.
gross.
Oh my
It was
God.
really gross. And I did it, but I never smelled the asparagus pea. So
Whoa, Laddie.
yeah,
You know- you know-
Is
that's my
that a
pea
bad
story.
thing, Laddie? Like,
Yeah.
What it tastes like that?
Tastes great. Tastes like asparagus.
But Laddie, you know there's a cereal that does that exact same thing, right?
Really?
Yeah, there's a cereal called Honey Smacks or Golden Crisp. If you eat them,
Time to go buy a bunch of Honey Smacks.
dude, no, I'm serious. Your
The
pee
quest
smells
for
just like
scented
Honey Smacks. It smells delicious. I don't know what it
What?
tastes. Yeah, Honey Smacks. If you ever eat Honey Smack, your pee
Oh no,
smells
I
just
know it.
like
Like I know what you mean. I just thought that like the train of thought I thought you were going on. You were like, oh, you know, it smells just like it'll help you smell like have like that smell of like asparagus pea, and you were like, oh, it smells delicious, and I was like, oh.
yeah, I was like,
Ah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
go, Laddie. This is better tasting. Go enjoy it. Enjoy your.
I'm gonna go
good
do it
strong
now.
pee.
Thanks, Rush.
I'm so
Make a
motivational.
TikTok about it, laddie.
My
Make a
friends
TikTok
are
about it.
make a TikTok about it. My friends are so supportive about my pee adventures.
Listen, I would legit. I'm ashamed to say that you are entertaining enough of an individual that if you told me tomorrow, like PJ, I think I'm actually going to buy asparagus. I'm gonna buy the cereal, and I'm gonna just buy as many things as I have to until my pee smells different, and then record, like just like record like my findings. I'd be like, man, I would watch that though. Like I would watch.
Heck, dude, let's do it. Let's make an adventure.
Let's make it a group effort. Who
Dude,
wants
let's
to
pee
collab?
together.
Yeah, we'll pee together. We'll see which one smells the most like asparagus.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
Heck.
that sounds
What
good.
is
You
it?
guys are foul. All of you are degenerates. Every single one of you.
You don't have a pee
are-
story, Maaz?
Well, you don't have a pee story. Come
No? What?
Come on.
What do you mean? Come on. What am I meant to?
Everyone has a pee story. Don't be
Everyone
weird.
has a pee story.
I don't.
Wow, you're weird. Guys,
This
weird.
is like
Wow.
that moment in like
Now I have to think for a pee story. What the
Yeah.
frick? Okay,
Yeah.
let me think.
Now you're on
Like,
the spot.
Like, okay, Rush,
Spotlight
JJ,
turns on us,
you
huh?
guys can comment. But when you go to a party and you guys, get drunk and
Uh-huh.
well, assuming you guys have,
Yeah.
Get
in
drunk?
a house
Never.
party. Yeah, never, right?
Yeah,
When you go to a house party and you get drunk, for guys. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a very specific scenario, but in Australia, guys, we have a group of friends called the boys. The guys, the squad.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And when you go to a party with just the boys, when you're just shooting the crap and doing whatever, they'll get drunk and they're like, yeah, we need to go pee. And when they're drunk, what they do is they just pick one like fence or one creek and they
Yeah.
all just pee together over the edge. and
Or a
stuff.
tree or something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't go
yeah.
as a group. I just go.
Obviously, but it's like the pee tree or the pee fence.
Yeah, there's there's
the-
that tree over there. Go pee on it. I peed on it 3 times today. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like, and so that's like the only interesting thing regarding pee. I've never peed myself. I've never.
I'm sure you peed yourself.
There was this one time I was stuck in LA traffic. Oh, that was rough. So when I left this year's VidCon, I was like left on the Uber from my house to the airport, and I was like, oh, I kind of have to pee, but it's whatever. 2 hours later, I'm still in traffic. I'm like, oh, my bladder is going to burst.
Oh
Like it's
no.
literally like it's bad. And then I was like, how long will we have until the airport? And I can see the airport in the distance, but there's so many cars in LA. And you know how when you get closer and closer to the toilet, your urge gets more and more, and it feels like
Yeah.
everything's going to die. I had that for the most excruciatingly long amount of time. I was legitimately worried that I would pee myself in a taxi, and I was like, no freaking way
Get
am
a
I
Gatorade
going
bottle.
to Sims style pee myself in this freaking taxi, okay?
Well,
As
get a-
soon as we get off, I literally told Sultan and Alex, I was like, pick up my luggage in the back. I'm just running. I'm just running to the bathroom.
Dang.
Maaz, you never took like a Gatorade bottle or something in your vehicle when you gotta go really bad? or-
I've never ever peed in a
Well,
bottle.
That sounds weird.
I have.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, how did you?
How-
Wait a
This
minute.
is what the podcast is.
No, I'm
Alright, we're gonna
I'm
end
very
the
sincere.
podcast right
I'm
now.
not joking. I'm not kidding. It's-
Why? Like, okay, tell us.
Okay, so once again, there was a specific reason why I didn't want to go to the
It really
bathroom.
is PJ, isn't it? PJ.
we just brought up
What
your
do you
latest video,
mean?
and now this is the whole.
It's the greatest
You have like
episode of all
50
time.
pee stories? What the hell?
This is
Well,
Right.
listen, I didn't want to. I don't remember why I either couldn't or didn't want to go to the bathroom, but like basically, I found like a really big glass like bottle of like iced tea that I used to have, and so like because I'm not a dude, obviously it's like, oh, how do I make this work? So I fashioned a funnel out of a very old folder with like a glossy side on like the front of it, and I just like I made the funnel. I worked around the shape. I got it to be like that perfect, like yeah, this will work. And then I used it, and then I filled the whole thing with pee, and then I went to bed.
Use a folder.
And-
But-
Use it in bed.
All
But
of you are
why?
degenerates.
Did you just-
Every single one of you are degenerates.
Wait, well, why?
No.
Did you just do it just because you could?
No, I'm trying to remember why, because I'll be honest, I'll be legit. I don't care if Maaz calls me more of a degenerate. I wasn't a kid when that happened.
So you knew how to tie your
I
shoes.
hate
Oh
that.
boy.
What's the
This is
letter that
like
comes
a
after
mess.
O?
P.
Is that really all you want to
All right.
I knew it as I was saying it. I'm gonna just humor Rush for this joke.
The goo.
Yeah.
Oh, good. PJ, you're foul. You're foul.
Listen. Okay, I'm sure I had my reasons. I know I did because it was very important, and I really needed to use the bathroom, but I just knew I
You were
couldn't use
so
the rest of it.
committed to
Okay,
making
I
a
was
funnel, everything.
I was
Yeah.
very.
Literally
'Cause
more
I didn't-
effort to make the funnel than just go.
Yeah.
Just go to the bathroom though.
That's
yeah,
why.
like,
Listen,
what was
I
that?
don't remember why I couldn't. That's the problem. We've had like toilet,
Dang.
like bathroom issues over the years, so I don't know if that was one of those moments. I don't know if someone was in there all day. Like I can't remember why. I just know that I went through a lot of trouble, and you know what? I regret nothing. But
I'm just like, okay. I was trained from an early age to just like hold it in for like outrageous amount of times. Because my dad, whenever we'd go on long car trips, we get for family vacation or whatever, my dad would drive from when the car like until the car needed gas. That's the only time he would stop. If you're like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, you like wait until we get to the next stop. And that would be whenever the tank hit empty. So I can hold it in for about maybe like 5 hours. If I need to pee, I can like 5 hours is like the when I start to stress it. But like I just got trained to do that because like that's how long it takes for the tank to run out.
Just shoot it out the window,
Giant
man.
Dodge Caravan.
Okay, so guys, and with that amazing pee story, we're going to end it off. You guys
Yeah.
are all degenerates, but I am glad you guys came to join this podcast.
thank you for giving me an outlet for more pee stories. My audience is disgusted.
Pantsless pajamas, okay? There we go.
Shadow.
Alright. Once again, thanks to all of the patrons and everyone who supported us. And you can listen to this on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, and all the other
If you actually want to.
platforms. Alright, ladies, everybody.
Bye,
Goodbye.
All right, and logging off now.